This is how a chessboard looks. At the beginning of the game, the chessboard is laid out so that each player has the white or light colored square in the bottom right hand side. King can go in any direction, up, down and diagonal, and also to the left and right. It goes only one step. Rook can go straight up, it can go straight down, it can go to the left, it can go to the right. Bishop can go in diagonals. The light square bishop will move on the light squares and the dark square bishop will move on the dark squares. The knight can go to all these squares in the L shape when it is placed in the center. Queen can go like a rook and it can also go like a bishop. Queen is a very powerful piece. Pawns are on the second rank in their starting position. They can go one step further or they can go two steps further on their first turn. Pawns can only capture diagonally. When the pawn reaches the last rank, the pawn can get promoted to either queen, knight, rook or bishop. Another rule concerning pawns is an end passing. When the white pawn is on the 5th rank and when black pawn is on the starting position and when he plays e5, white can go d takes e6 and capture the pawn. This is end passing. Remember that as soon as your opponent plays e5, if you want to end pass, this is your only chance. You cannot do this on the next turn. Similarly, here if you go d4, black has the option to capture your pawn. That's end passing. Another interesting rule in chess is castling. In order to castle, the following conditions must be met. It must be the king's very first move. It must be the rook's very first move. There cannot be any pieces between the king and the rook. And the king may not be in a check or pass to a check. This is kingside castling. This is queenside castling. The ultimate goal in this game is to checkmate. Before we go into checkmate, it's important to understand what's a check. When one of the opponent's pieces attacks the opposing king, bishop g6, this is a check. Bishop c6 is also a check. And checkmate is when you attack the king but the king has no square. This is an example for a checkmate. So here's an example where you can checkmate with white in one move. You play queen a8 check and it's a mate. There are three results possible in chess. You can win, you can make a draw or you can lose. Instead of playing queen d5 to a8, if you play queen d5 to d6, it's a stalemate. King cannot move anywhere but he is also not in a check. So this is something you must avoid when you're winning, otherwise you will only get half a point. That's stalemate. Apart from stalemate, a draw is possible when players just stop playing and they agree to a draw, or it could happen when only two kings are left, or when there's insufficient material, that's also a draw, or when 50 moves take place without any pawn move or a capture, that's also a draw. In chess, a pawn is worth 1 point, a knight 3 points, bishop is worth 3 points, rook is worth 5 points, queen is worth 9 points, and the king is infinitely valuable. This is how the starting position looks. Just like you have a name and I have a name, the squares on the chessboard also have a name. There are 8 files, A to H, and then there are 8 ranks, 1 to 8. Related square is E4. First comes the alphabet, then comes the number. The second square I am highlighting is C5, E7, F8, and so on.